what up, YouTube? Just want to make this video real quick. I had a thought about video game sales, primarily those that I guess we'd consider an indie title or like third party, like not something that's big time, like Bungie or Square, not a game from those developers. Cuphead came out. Cuphead came out. After a long wait, it's here. And it's just as great and amazing as people thought it would be. Now, technically, this is a Xbox exclusive, but in saying Xbox, sorry about that, just in saying Xbox exclusive, it's a PC game. And that's the thing that kind of sucks for Microsoft, is the fact that every game that you can get on the Xbox, essentially, it's playable on PC. Meaning, this isn't something that is truly a console exclusive. Like, I'm trying to think of a specific Sony console exclusive that you can't play on PC. But the thing is that even in that scenario, it's like, I want to say a lot of the Sony console exclusives are games you just really do end up, preferring to play on console rather than PC. And that may be because the actual online community or, different factors. Like, it feels like a game that's better played with a controller. And we all know you can, clearly connect your controller to a computer and play. But there's just something, this is more of a standard console type of game. Like, I'm not playing PUBG. I'm not playing some game where I want the world's most precise accuracy and whatnot. That's not what this is. So, with Microsoft and Cuphead, they make a console exclusive indie game that essentially lived up to its hype. It's lived up to what we all thought it would be. It really has. It's lived up to that. It's great. It's amazing. But me, the fact that I only own a PS4, I don't have an Xbox. But I wasn't worried about not being able to play the game because, oh yeah, it's on PC. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried. I don't have to go out buy an Xbox just to play Cuphead. And that's how people look at the situation. Because, like I said, there's plenty of PlayStation exclusives, I'm pretty sure, that ended up getting a PC port or on PC. So it's not like, oh, PlayStation is the only way you can play this game. Oh, man. I don't know why I'm yawning so much right now. But yeah, it's not like PlayStation is the only option. It's like, either it came out on PC as well, or it's going to get a port. It just ain't never going to be on a Microsoft Xbox console, You got this situation Microsoft put themselves in purely because of their marketing. And the problem became the marketing games on Windows, When you throw it out there, you market it the way you did, that literally you're telling people every game that comes out on Xbox will also be available on PC. And the moment they did that, I'm like, then why the hell even buy an Xbox? Because what you're telling me is I'm better off is building a rig. I'm better off waiting a little while. I mean, yeah, okay, a console's only 300, 400, 500, tops nowadays. But you're telling me if I got 400, I might as well just save possibly another 400 to $600 and buy myself, a $800 to $1,000 rig. Well, not buy one, but make one. Build a rig. If I got a budget of 800 to 1,000, you can build a pretty nice damn PC that will outperform an Xbox in just about every damn way. Now, the reason why Microsoft at the end of the day doesn't care about the Xbox One's actual success is for the simple fact that, like I said, Microsoft just so happens to be a computer company at heart. At the end of the day, I'm like, Microsoft has enough money that the shit just don't matter. Every PC that essentially is out in this world, you're either running Microsoft software, you're running something that's Microsoft at the end of the day. Apple, I'm not getting Apple. I'm not getting Apple to play PC games. I'm not getting the Apple anything for computer games. Oh, man. I just woke up. That's probably why I'm yawning, sneezing, and looking all dry and dusty. But I'm not going to get a MacBook to play these games. No. I want a legit dedicated graphics card. So I'm going to build a PC most likely. That simple. So Microsoft ends up profiting at the end of the day anyway. One way or another, they end up profiting. Microsoft, like I said, they literally, at one point, I think when they started truly marketing, playing the games on PC, the way they did, I think they had kind of already conceded defeat, in a sense. I think they already were like, the one is pretty much nothing. And the problem with that, I think they were marketing that when they first announced it. When they first, I might have to go back to that E3 all those years ago and look when, the PS4 and Xbox One were first announced and yada yada this, yada yada that. But I think even then, they had actually had it out there. They were beginning the push for play on PC. And I'm like, what the hell's the point of me buying the console if you're literally telling me play on the PC? And that was a huge factor in things. It really was. It was like, do you want me to buy the Xbox? But going back to the main focus on things, you got Cuphead. Critically acclaimed indie title. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. We all know this. Oh, man. Critically acclaimed. It's great. It's amazing. I don't want to say, that Dark Souls level of difficulty. No. I'm not trying to do that. But it is a fun and a difficult game. But what I want to speak about is more of the sales, the marketing, this, that, and other. And I know it's taken me basically 9-some minutes just to even get to this point. But I had to lay the groundwork, the framework for what I'm trying to say. There are some people who truly believe that a game like Cuphead, indie games, like you have some indie games out here that get the critical acclaim and all that stuff, but they never get the sales due to it being an indie game. And it being an indie game, people don't even want to waste the time because, oh, I'm a hardcore FPS type of dude. I only play Destiny or big titles. You being a hardcore FPS type of dude is more of a reason for you not to play. That's a more legitimate, justification for why Cuphead isn't for you. Because if you're telling me you only really play FPS games, then that makes sense. But when people say, oh, well, this person, people are going to look at Bungie and Naughty Dog and this, that, and the other, and those are the type of games they play. So what you're saying is, like, they're only focusing on AAA titles. So they're going to overlook Cuphead. They're going to overlook this game. Like, if you scroll through the Xbox marketplace or whatever, and you see Cuphead, the chances and odds of the normal, AAA playing type of person to overlook it or just see it and be like, oh my god, what is this game? I don't really want to play this. Some people truly believe, like, people are just going to literally scroll right past it. They're going to see it, maybe stop for like 2 seconds, and then just keep going. I don't think it's true. Marketing, you got to keep in mind, people go get a college degree to market stuff. When you're a Microsoft, who I'm pretty sure can afford top tier marketing team people, the way they display and put the game out there on the marketplace, clearly is gonna pretty much throw Cuphead in your face. Now that's the thing, because I don't have an Xbox, I don't know how they have the game up there right now on the marketplace. I don't know how, but I'm pretty sure somewhere on there, if it's anything like the PS Store, where it's like games that are hot right now, popular games. Like there's what does the PlayStation have? I want to say the first tab PlayStation has is like, it'll always be like, I can't remember if it's like what's hot, or like the top tab will be just like a huge advertisement for something coming up that's just hot, that people want, and it'll be the whole screen. You're getting that whole screen, your entire screen that you're viewing is dedicated to that one thing usually. So, right before FIFA was about to drop, you just got a big thing, this huge screen, this picture of Cristiano Ronaldo on the screen, and that's the first thing you see when you hop on the PS Store. And a lot of times it's like, oh snap, okay, I remember, oh shit, FIFA did just come out. Let me go ahead and buy that. Let me get that. They do it a lot of times for like pre-orders. Usually, Sony's pretty good with its marketing of games coming to its consoles. So, pretty sure when Destiny was even announced, Sony had something up. The moment you can do pre-orders, when it was getting closer and closer to release, something rolled back up for Destiny. And then, of course, Destiny drops. Destiny's up there. Now, Destiny's out now. They probably won't put another Destiny advertisement up in the top spot, But when the DLC drops, okay, depending on what else is coming out, you might get Destiny again. Sony is really good with that. And then they have all these other little sections like what's on sale, PlayStation Plus, discount, you got a bunch of different little sections. You got a section, what are your friends playing? So you can literally see, oh, okay, I got a nice little number of friends who just went and bought this game, Okay, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. But also with that, because I have friends who bought that game before I even buy it, the biggest thing that's out there is word of mouth. It's word of mouth. If your friends are playing a game, you're gonna most likely get that game. So everybody usually has a friend or two or three who are legit gaming people, who are straight up legit gaming people, who are credible gaming sources. And if you see those people playing a certain game, you're more inclined to get it. Now, just because Cuphead is an indie title and the level of marketing for it ain't huge, you got to keep in mind these gaming reviews that are coming out, Game Informer, IGN, this, that, and the other, people on YouTube. That's what's wonderful about nowadays, is that we have a lot of different people that factor into a gaming success, honestly. And you have people who traditionally, like we said, we have these people who would traditionally be more inclined to only really care about and play AAA titles. As the world is progressing and you get more people playing a game like a Cuphead or this, that, or the other, and we have more of an internet presence, YouTube, you got Twitch. Like, the fact that I can literally go on Twitch and watch somebody play a game and be like, shit, that's fun. That really looks fun. And it being an indie title, well, it's $20 on Steam. So compared to paying 60 for a full AAA game, and then probably end up not even liking it, $20, and I can get me a good game that'll kill a lot of time. Could you beat Cuphead in a day? Probably, I'm pretty sure. But I can tell you right now, speedrunning community, people are going to speedrun the hell out of that game. They're going to speedrun the hell out of it if they haven't started already. It's fun to watch on Twitch. Now, how long is it going to stay up where it is? Probably not long. It's not a ever evolving game. It's not a PUBG, it's not a Twitch. I mean, it's not a League of Legends, it's not a Dota. You know, pretty much your first playthrough, you're figuring things out, and then you're going to play through it again. And then by the time you hit the third time, you probably know exactly the patterns and whatnot. What it really is coming down to is you just trying to get the best possible time. It's just a personal achievement type of thing. That's what I was saying. It's like this Dark Souls type of difficult game. It's just a difficult yet fun game. It's that difficult game that you blame yourself more than anything. That's what I've seen a lot of times. We see a Dark Souls. We see certain games where the shit just gets so broken sometimes. And you're like, the game just really fucked me over to this level? Because it doesn't matter how good at Dark Souls you are, the game will randomly fuck you over in the worst way at any given moment. And it's always by like the most simple basic enemy too. And you're like, I've like, you got dudes who are speedrunners, and they've probably played Dark Souls thousands of times. They've probably, if these guys are speedrunning daily, they've done runs, multiple runs in a day. They probably get 3-4 legitimate runs in a day. They have beat this game thousands of times at this point. They know the mechanics down to a T. You got a guy out here, you got multiple people out here doing speed runs of these games, these no-hit runs of these games. They're doing no-hit runs. People are playing Dark Souls and going through an entire run without taking damage. That's a no-hit run. Without taking damage. So you can't tell me that like a game can't be perfected or mastered. Because for somebody to accomplish a no-hit run on a game like Dark Souls, that's probably the I that's a top achievement. That's more of an achievement to me than beating the game in like 30 minutes. Me beating all of the bosses, beating this, that, and the other, and you getting a time of like 45 minutes or something. You beating Dark Souls without taking damage from anybody. That is probably the biggest accomplishment you can pull off, because that's not something you can do in a day. You can go months trying to do this one thing, and you can get close who knows how many times. You get what I'm saying? But Cuphead, on the other hand, it's not a game where it's necessarily the NPC. It's not just an RNG. It is an RNG ish type of game. Like, it's like there's patterns to things, but it's not always going to be the exact same pattern. It's not roguelike. Like, people, I hate that term too. It's not a roguelike type of game, I don't think. No, it's not roguelike. There's a general pattern to things, but things won't always be exactly the same. Um, but it's one of those things where you get more upset at yourself. You're like, dang, did I just really do that? Like, but so it's not a thing where it's like, I'm about to break this controller because Dark Souls is effing me over again. It's more of like mental mistake, like, I gotta get this, I gotta get this, I gotta get this. And it's just fun. People easily can make this game sell. Just because you see it in the marketplace and you might scroll by and you're like, what the hell Disney game is this that I'm looking at? This color, this monochromatic, like, what? What is this? First of all, if you haven't heard about Cuphead, you have to be completely out of you have to completely have no idea what the hell's going on in the actual gaming world if you've never heard of Cuphead. Like, you have to be completely just like, you never heard of this. Like, ever. Nobody's ever told you about this. If you are living in this world right now and you're like a legitimate gaming type of person, and you have completely seen no sources whatsoever speaking about Cuphead, and you randomly got on your Xbox and went to the marketplace and noticed that there's this big thing talking about Cuphead's out, it's hot, what's hot right now? I feel like the chances of you just scrolling past it are lower than some people think. I think you'd legitimately stop and look at it for a second. You'd legitimately stop, look at it, if they got like a little preview, something, which I'm pretty sure they do, a little preview and whatnot. Like, you might think it's childish. And I'm not sure if they have like a review system or whatever, but I'm pretty sure what you're gonna see like 5 stars next to it. You're gonna be like, what the hell? Like, okay, how many people rated this? It just came out, 5 stars. I feel like what most people do in this day and age, they're gonna see something. It's gonna catch their eye. Now, they may not pull the trigger right away, but they're gonna go do some slight research on it. People are gonna go look up and see what the hell this game is. I'm not worried about Cuphead. I'm not worried about Cuphead not making some good money. Will it be the highest selling indie game ever? Probably not, because at the end of the day, you do need some level of marketing. And that's the thing to get, if I were to see a commercial pop up on TV, of Cuphead, I would have been like, what? And that's the thing. Indie games, I do feel like an indie game as such as Cuphead that clearly had this high level of the probability of it being an amazing game, it had a high. Why can't I think of words right now? I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Potential. The potential was here for this game, and it essentially has delivered. And that don't happen often. That doesn't happen all the time. Like, we get our hopes up about a game, and it shits the bed. But no, the potential was up here. Think about Mafia 3. People waited, and they were wanting that game so damn bad. And it just fell flat. And I don't even think it was a super horrible game. It just was, it was nothing that was like, damn. It just didn't live up to the hype or what we wanted it to be. Especially because this is what happens when you have a huge pause and break in between putting the game out. You got Mafia 1, you got Mafia 2, and then it took quite some time for Mafia 3 to drop. So in all that time, people are expecting a game to be super amazing. Now, if we had just Mafia 1, Mafia 2, Mafia 3, kind of back to back to back, I don't think the letdown would have been as huge. But because there was such a large time gap and it had not happened, it was easy for people to be like, I was better off just still playing Mafia 2 again. I ain't even need to get 3. I'm gonna go download that and play through that again. Like, that's how people began to feel about it. So when you got a Cuphead that does end up blowing up the way it did, it's like, I feel like what it really comes down to, do we need to start getting legitimate advertising for some indie titles? Like, if you're an indie title that's truly, truly, truly like indie as hell, like you just graduated college and you just made a game and you just put it out on Steam, we probably ain't gonna advertise that. But Microsoft, Game Inform, like, everybody from when this game was first kind of out there, put into the world, people were like, "Oh my God, this is gonna be a fun game. This is gonna be a good game. This is gonna be like one of the few indie titles that I have to own." And if that was the general feeling on things, should they have marketed it? Should there have been something? Like, do you take out a loan for XYZ amount of dollars and try to get your game on TV to reach a few more people? Because there could have been a creative, dope-ass way to throw a commercial up. Now, the last thing I pretty much have to say to worry about with Cuphead could be possible lawsuits, because literally, the characters, like, this looks like some Disney shit, some old school back in the day Steamboat Willie Disney. I'm like, when you look at Cuphead himself, it's like, bruh, they're this close to lawsuit. Like, I'm surprised Disney. I'm assuming that when this all first came out, Disney was probably one of the first groups they contacted to be like, we're making a game. This is how it looks. This is how our characters look. Let's fly this by you all. Do you all feel any type of way about this? And Disney, I'm assuming somebody was like, no, it's fine. Go make your game. As long as this dude don't freaking start whistling and, and you don't have a fucker that looks like Goofy and somebody looks like Donald, make your game. Because that's just how it is. Because you gotta also think, Disney they weren't the only ones making cartoons in that style. Back in the day, they weren't the only ones making cartoons with that style. Other people were too. It just so happens that Disney became the most iconic of them all. But Disney weren't the only, like, Disney didn't create that art style, so that's probably the other reason why it's like, no major lawsuit. But when you look at the main characters, you do kind of think, this is Disney-esque as hell. But no. Cuphead is an amazing game. It's an amazing game. Even as an indie title, even if you're somebody who only plays triple A's, I feel like the odds and chances of you checking out Cuphead, you might have a friend and you might see him play that game and you might be like, fuck, okay, I'm a bite the bullet. I'm gonna get this one. I am not worried about it not getting the sales. Critically acclaimed, I mean, it's pretty much already critically acclaimed. It's just the money that should be coming in for this game. That's the difference. And I think things will definitely, if they haven't already made a lot of money, it'll definitely pick up. It'll definitely pick up. So this goes with a lot of games. This wasn't just about Cuphead, but this is just games in general nowadays. You do still have to market, but word of mouth and the internet presence we have nowadays for things, I wouldn't say worry too much. If a game is good, people will know. People will know. They'll hear about it. If a game is truly good. That's all I gotta say.